Screen, yeah, hey!
Hey, hi everyone.
Hi, everyone.
I'm James Wesley, and this is
Seth Rudetsky, what up?
Welcome to Stars in the House, a daily web series to benefit the Actors Fund and bring some light and joy to everything that's going on right now.
Yeah.
And education with Dr. John LaPook.
Yeah, so we have like amazing entertainment and a chief medical correspondent, as all shows should.
Absolutely.
I'm going to start the banner going. So as you're listening to this babbling, first of all, start donating if you can, actorsfund.org. Most importantly, right now, please, can you share? So those of you that have what's called social media, can you share to your Twitter, Facebook, anything, say, oh my God, watch this. Just put it up, because the more eyes that are on it, the more money we're going to raise. The donations have been incredible. I mean, in such a time of economic stress, the donations coming in have been great. And just so you know, the Actors Fund is for everyone. It is a misnomer. Remember the word misnomer from SATs?
No.
Anybody? Misnomer, my drag name? Okay, anyway. What it means is it's not just for actors. It's for anybody in the business, for makeup artists, hairstylists, people in the box office, ushers, lighting designers, and no one is working. So the Actors Fund has this great need, people to pay their rent, pay their medical bills. But the regular way the Actors Fund makes money, one of them is donations from Broadway Cares.
Right.
Broadway Cares fundraising is over. The Red Bucket Brigade never happened. Broadway Backwards was canceled. The Actors Fund big gala has been canceled. So they have even more need to give money, and they're making even less money than ever. So it's really up to people. Literally giving $1 makes a difference if you can. If not, just watch this and enjoy it and feel good and don't feel stressed out, please.
Well, and so two things with that stuff. One,
Yes.
I have some donations that were left over from Norbert Leo Butts.
Norbert Leo Butts, and also his special guest stars. We had
Who were the special guest stars?
We had Will Chase and John Lithgow surprise Norbert. It was so great. And Norbert sounded amazing. He played guitar, played piano. It was just an incredible show.
Absolutely. And so this total right now, before we got these in for Norbert's show, we have raised so far $49,723 for the Actors Fund.
Since Monday night.
Since Monday. And that doesn't include today. But so these are a few totals for today.
I see Chris Sieber going crazy. Hi, Chris. You'll be on soon. Hey, girl.
So this is for the last ones for Norbert. So Lisa from Maine, $50. Virginia from Chicago, $100. Jennifer from Minnesota, $25. Jessica from California, $50. Elena from Maryland, $50. Monica from San Francisco, $25. Judith from Nevada, $25.
Nevada, they said.
Nevada, okay. Sheng Pin from California, $50. Teresa from New Jersey, $50. And Susan from South Carolina, $100.
South Carolina. Thanks.
So tonight we have Patrick Wilson, that as Seth just said. We have a special guest before we bring on Dr. LaPook and Patrick Wilson.
It's our good pal who's going to be back Sunday night. Just FYI, company. Here's to the lady. Anyway, company was supposed to open Sunday night. It's Sondheim's 90th birthday. It ain't happening. So we're going to have a mock or our own opening night of company on Sunday with the cast. And here's one of the brilliant stars that I was chatting with today, and he had an amazing idea that he did. So let's talk to
Which, by the way, it'll link into the question that we'll be soon asking Dr. LaPook. So
yes,
it's all
we're
related.
all connected. Here's a wonderful, so talented and hilarious Christopher Sieber. Hi, Chris.
Can you hear me?
Nope.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I
There's
can.
a little bit of a delay,
Okay.
Chris, but
Should I just get rid of these?
Your sync is off.
yeah, it's the same.
Take your earrings off for a second.
Is that better?
Yes, Queen.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
Where are
It's
you?
all the way over there.
Turn on a
Can you-
light. The
Hold
hell
on.
are
Let me
you?
turn you up. Let me turn you up. I'm turning you up.
He's
There we go.
at
Hi
home.
everyone.
Hi, Chris. Chris, tell everybody the amazing thing you were doing today.
We have a great group of neighbors here on our little lake in northern New Jersey, and it's been a week, so we missed each other, and we do hang out a lot. So we decided, and we all have dogs, and so we decided to have a 5 o'clock cocktail hour, dog walking, get to know you, social distancing party.
So you did social distance. You didn't all get together and spread things. You social distanced.
Oh, we were 6 feet apart all the entire time. It was hilarious, but it actually, but we could still hear each other. But there was like a large, probably about 10, maybe a dozen of us walking down the streets of our neighborhood, and the cars stopping, and there it is. Yes. So as you notice, all the people that are close to each other are actually already in a relationship. Like my husband Kevin and I, and my neighbors Jan and Corinne were together. So anybody that you see close together, we're already in a house together. So we stayed away from those, but we still all love each other. We're very good friends. So and it was so nice because it was such a nice day today. So it was.
That's
it was
a great
fantastic.
idea.
It's a great idea, and I love that you took a video, and I love that you live in a neighborhood that has celebrities. I'm going to show the video.
By the way, that's Bob Martin, who wrote Drowsy Chaperone and The Prom, you know. So, but that's him right there. Anyway, everybody's dogs are out. It's a beautiful day. We're meeting our neighbors. We're staying 6 feet apart, as you should. Anyway, hope to be back to work soon. I don't get time off to enjoy myself, so why not? Why not enjoy yourself? Take care, everyone.
That was great.
That was
Chris.
so great. We've never shown a video before. You're the first. We're so excited.
Hey, Chris, hold on. But let's bring in Dr. LaPook, because I'm sure,
Okay.
hi, Dr. LaPook, I'm sure you would really approve of that, right?
Yeah, I have, let's see, telepathy. What question are you going to ask me about pets and
Yes, Dr.
coronavirus?
LaPook. So I don't have the name of the person who asked, but she asked, I am keeping my social distance in dog parks, but other people's dogs don't social distance. Can other people's dogs give it to you, the coronavirus?
All right. So first of all, people out there, I keep saying go to cdc.gov, and if you Google CDC space coronavirus space pets, you will get to the page that I'm reading that says a bunch of stuff. And it says at this time there is no evidence that companion animals, including pets, can spread COVID-19. That said, there are a couple of cases from Hong Kong of dogs that, you know, they were able to isolate the virus when they actually tested them. That doesn't mean that they were infected or they got sick. In fact, I think there was no evidence they did get sick. But the common sense part of you, and I think this is what, when I ask my friends and other health professionals about this is, you know, if you have a person who is sick, who's infected and shedding virus, you know, dogs are all over you. So don't let them lick you. And certainly you shouldn't let them lick other people if you're sick. You know, I think that's the idea. Has there been a case that's been proven that it spread that way? No, not that I know of. But just at this point, when we don't have all the data, it just kind of makes common sense. You know, they can have it and spread it, but not get the disease themselves. So again, I think that's a very special situation where somebody is sick and the dog's all over them. And so use your common sense. But I don't think as a rule, we're not thinking that pets are getting sick and then sneezing on their owners and getting them sick and vice versa.
Okay, well, Dr. LaPook, you stand by. And Chris, we will see you on Sunday.
Thanks,
you so
guys.
much.
Thanks for having me, Dr. LaPook. Thank you.
But hold on, Chris.
All
You
right,
got to
guys.
just get some praise.
What?
Chris was my favorite Gaston. Just so you know, everybody loves you. Your walk was hello, New Jersey Pride. I saw Chris in the prom, outstanding and hilarious.
Saddest thing that it closed. It was the best. That was the best. That was not even work. It was just hilarious fun with your friends. It was great.
Just like Triumph of Love. Just kidding. We'll discuss that later. Chrissy, great seeing you. We'll see you Sunday for Sunday Company opening night Sunday.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I got some for you guys. All right.
Bye.
All right, you get rid of that banner.
So now we're gonna have our hold on, how do I get rid of this stupid banner?
That's what I was waiting on you. There you go.
Okay. All right, so everybody, wait.
You got stuff right here. I got it.
Oh,
there we go.
We have our star. I'm really excited. He's a Broadway star. Sadly, he's gone to film, but we hope that he comes back. So here he is, the fabulous Patrick Wilson.
Hey,
Hi, Patrick.
Hey, buddy. How are you guys?
Good.
Okay, describe where you are.
I'm in my basement, my man cave, with my microphone. This is where I spend a lot of my time. Later, perhaps I'll take this iPad off and show you around. Basically, what I did when I moved here was I took all my old like 80s metal posters and rock posters and framed them like a museum. Because where else would you put up ridiculous posters from your childhood? So here.
So who's that right behind you in that poster?
That's Van Halen. They sort of lead the charge.
I don't know what that means.
What's that?
I don't know what that means. So I guess Van Halen was a group. Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
No, he's gonna turn around.
I thought he did this on you.
No, he's trying to figure out how to turn his iPad around or iPad.
Wait, why can't I turn around? I turn around the other.
You did it before. You just clicked that little.
Hang on.
Hold
There
on.
we go.
Ah,
So wait, I've lost my thing here.
that's what she said?
That is actually what she said.
I
I'm
know.
not gonna,
What up with
I'm
that?
not gonna. Anyway, I've got a lot of stuff in here, a lot of drums and equipment because I like to spend a lot of my time down here.
Is it literally a man cave?
Well, women are allowed.
Who else are you?
Right.
Yeah. Who else are you there with in the overall house, Patrick?
Oh, well, I have 2 children. One child is here. Would you like to say hello? This is Cass.
Hi,
My 10-year-old.
Cass. I love your shirt.
Who's upstairs, and my wife. And we also have my mother-in-law, my wife's mother, and my sister-in-law, who's pregnant. And she also has a 2-year-old and her husband. So we are all holed up here during this quarantine. So at least we are surrounded by awesome family.
What is the food that everyone is obsessing about?
Food that we go through a lot of chips, I've realized.
Just plain chips, or is there a lot of chips being dipped in things? I got to know.
They're just bags of chips. I think it's a. I'm not going to call out my pregnant sister-in-law, but let's just say the chips, and as well she should.
That's right.
Now is the time to overeat.
Hey, Patrick, before Seth gets started, one of the things we've been asking everyone is what are you doing to stay healthy and connected with those that you love? Obviously, you're surrounded by a lot of that under your roof, but
yeah, we had a Zoom party last night with some other family members, which was awesome.
Zoom is like, if you don't know, it's a website where you can like look at all different people at once.
Yeah. A lot of FaceTiming, a lot of Marco Polo, a lot of. Today we actually had a virtual. We are in the midst of Mary Poppins Jr. rehearsal, which my wife and I are co-directing. Well, she's choreographing it.
Hold on, the 2 of you, the kids are being directed. Aren't they crazy intimidated? Weren't they like, oh my God, I saw you in Little Children?
They have no idea what we do for a living.
Didn't they see you in Full Monty in 2000?
They totally did.
Cool.
No, these children are like 10-year-olds. So we've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years.
I love that, Patrick. Do you know about the Laura Benanti thing where people are uploading?
I saw that, and I love that. I think that is such a classy thing, such an awesome thing for her to do, and it shows how much she wants to give back to the community, and the community gives back to her. I mean, it's a pretty stellar move, and I can't wait to see everybody that's reaching out. We tried to have a virtual rehearsal today, which was insane. I mean, it was crazy town, really.
Oh my! No, by the way, if you don't know, exactly, and that was you.
Supercalifragilistic. Come on, guys, it was terrible.
Is that the crack?
Something quite atrocious.
If you don't know, by the way, Laura Benanti do #Sunshine Songs, and people are uploading their school performances they never got to give, just a cappella at home. It's #Sunshine Songs.
Okay, we are still holding out here that our elementary school will be able to do it. We will do it somewhere, even if it's in our backyard through social distancing. We're going to do it. So
6 feet apart. They just need lavaliers and permanent monitors. Okay, Patrick Wilson, I know you're going to give us a song. I can't remember the order of songs. What are you going to give me first?
Well, what I thought I would do is this. I was going to sing.
Is this thing on?
yeah, right.
Literally? Exactly.
No, what I thought I would do is I would do a couple songs from shows, from auditions that I bombed, totally bombed, because I never got the job. So my first one, can you hear that okay?
I wish your voice was a little bit louder. I can hear the guitar.
The guitar's fine.
Louder, like this? Yeah? Okay. You can hear the guitar okay?
Guitar is great.
Okay, so I'm going to do a couple songs. I thought I'd do a more uplifting one, even though they're both about the same tempo, of shows that I didn't get. And then I will discuss the horror of this audition later. But this is the first show I saw on Broadway, and it was the first show I saw in the West End. And then I auditioned for the German company and totally blew it. This was Starlight Express. I bet no one's ever done Starlight Express, but guess what? They're about to now. I'm going to record this. Didn't you say you wanted to record it? All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for recording
Glad
it.
you're
Yes.
remembering.
There you go. When your good nights have been said, you are lying in bed with the covers pulled up tight. Although you count every sheep, you get that feeling that sleep is gonna stay away tonight. That's when you hear it coming. That's when you hear the humming of the midnight train. Here again, can't explain that midnight train. That midnight train, Starlight Express. You must confess, are you real? Yes or no? Starlight Express, answer me yes. I don't want you to go. Want you to take me away, but bring me back before daylight and in the time between. Take me to everywhere, but don't abandon me there. Just wanna say I've been. I believe in you completely. Though I may be dreaming sweetly, I can hear the train here again. Can't explain that midnight train, that midnight train. Starlight Express, you must confess, are you real? Yes or no? Starlight Express, please answer me yes. I don't want you to go. And if you're there, and if you know, then show me which way I must go. Starlight Express, you must confess, are you real? Yes or no? Starlight Express, please answer me yes. I don't want you to go.
Okay. I cannot believe they didn't cast you. Well, I kind of can, but that was the outrage. Patrick Wilson, we think it's so important to keep in touch with friends during the social distancing that we brought one of your pals to say hello. Here is Ms. Andrea Martin, who's calling in from Canada.
Patrick, first of all, I can't believe you have a microphone in your basement.
Yes, I do.
I'm very, very impressed.
Andrea, where are you right now?
I'm in my little office in Toronto in my home.
You're in full makeup, looking stunning, by the
I
way.
have so much makeup on, and why do I have to see myself? Wow.
That's how this works. So tell
I mean,
me,
seriously, what am I doing? The morning show? I mean, what have I done?
there's Julie.
Hello.
Andrea Martin, how do you know Patrick Wilson? Patrick, how do you know Andrea?
Oh. Does this ring a bell, Patrick Wilson? If you weren't so young and I wasn't so old, I'd marry you, get you to have my chillin'. I'm sure that's not the right words.
I forget all my lines. It's been like 18 years.
Has it
We
really?
did Oklahoma together. Here, I'm gonna scoot up. It's better now. We did Oklahoma together And then I stayed at your house when I was in LA.
You did.
And I soiled your sheets.
And I haven't washed them since you left. The only thing that brings me joy.
Okay.
And on that note, we're going to take control of this show.
We're going to say bye.
And we'll see you, Andrea, very
Thank you,
soon.
Andrea, for checking.
I want to tell you something about Patrick Wilson.
Go.
So, nobody probably knows this, but maybe he doesn't even want me to say. But Patrick during Oklahoma was cast in Angels in America, and there were night shoots every night. He never missed a show of Oklahoma. He would do Oklahoma. He would then go shoot in Angels in America. And correct me if I'm wrong, Patrick, you'd never been in front of a camera before? Was that your first?
The first time on film, yeah.
And did you see that performance? It was extraordinary.
Yeah.
And every night on stage when we were interacting, I would think, I thought to myself, this guy is going to be a movie star, because there was just something in your eyes. You know what they say about movie stars, everything's in your eyes. Anyway, I'm so happy for you and your career and your children and wife. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, honey.
Andrea, we miss you. We'll FaceTime you tomorrow.
Is that it?
Bye.
That's it.
Wow, that's really depressing. At 29, you've had it. All right, get me out of here.
Bye.
Bye. We'll see you very soon.
We love you, Andrea.
Love you. All right. I can't. Okay. Well, let me read some. Oh my God. Some donations that we just got in. Nancy from New York, $100. Thank you very much. Actorsfund.org. Sarah from California, $35. Julie from Pennsylvania, $50. Jeffrey from Brooklyn, $25. Suzanne from New York, $100. Rebecca from Texas gave $75, and Barbara from Brooklyn, $100. That's just a few of the people who've just given.
Baby, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
What you guys are doing, honestly, it really is. It's such an amazing. That's why I'm sure every single person you ask will do it, because if there's one thing we can do during this time, it's if there's any sort of silver lining, it's that we pull into focus what's most important, and of course, it's your family. And it's your friends and this community, the way that you guys have embraced this community and shown how far your reach can extend, whether it was the Concerts for America or this, you guys are gents. You guys are just.
Oh, thanks, Patrick.
Thank you, Patty. Well, Patrick did our Concert for America. You sounded amazing in that, and we'll discuss that in a moment. We want to bring on our chief medical correspondent, as usual, Dr. LaPook. Patrick, if you have any questions, or if Dr. LaPook has a fabulous update. Any updates for us, Dr. John LaPook? You were up to the minute.
I want to pick up on something Patrick said about, this being a time when we realize what's really important. I mean, as if we have to learn it over and over again. It's our health. It's our family. It's our loved ones. It's our connections. We're running 200 miles an hour all the time towards what? And, my mother was somebody who liked to look for silver linings. Not everything has a silver lining, but if there is a silver lining here, it's that it is bringing people together. And that's the reason why this is so important. I worry that at a time when we're physically distancing ourselves from people, that it's really important to remain emotionally connected. It's bad for your health to be separate. And I do want to give people one concrete thing to do every time, maybe. So after the broadcast is over tonight, or the webcast, think of one person who may be alone, who may benefit from a phone call or Skype or a FaceTime, and reach out to them. And hopefully it's not the same person who everybody is thinking of and they're going to be inundated tonight, but this poor person. But I think it's really important for us to continue to go back to why we're doing this. And again, you're going to hear it over and over again, because Tony Fauci, who's the head of infectious diseases for the NIH, you keep hearing his name, he's a hero. He told me yesterday, I think, he said, you can't say it enough. Flattening the curve. Why are we doing this? We're doing this. And it's hard to do it, stay apart from each other, because at the beginning of an epidemic, there's a big spike in cases. And when you have that spike, it can overwhelm a healthcare system. We're seeing it in parts of the country, the system doing that, shaking. Hasn't totally cracked yet, but not enough doctors or nurses, health professionals, medical equipment, beds, testing. We're seeing all that. So if you can flatten that curve so that all the cases don't come at once, they come over time. It's been proven in China, South Korea, it makes a difference. And then we're talking about washing your hands for 20 seconds. You're going to hear from me every single time, with soap and water, the right way, the tips, the fronts, the back, the knuckles, everything. You sneeze or cough into the crook of your arm or into a tissue. And then this social distancing, it really matters, and it matters for everybody. I saw again today, people, I think it was on Bondi Beach in Australia, everybody congregated. If you're, yes, you may feel that you're young and immortal, but first of all, we're finding out from data over the last week, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, and 40-year-olds, they can get very sick. They don't get sick, they can be asymptomatic or have mild symptoms and spread it to the loved ones. So everybody's got to be responsible. I'm going to say that over and over again because I think it's really the paramount issue. If we're going to do something, and we can do something, I know we can, it's got to be right now, together. We are empowered. Nobody likes to feel helpless. And guess what? We're not helpless. We do this all together, no exceptions.
Dr. LaPook, you'll like this comment here. I reached out to an elderly friend of mine earlier today. We had a nice little chat on Facebook. It was great to catch up with him and to know that he's doing okay during this tough time. It's exactly what you're saying. We got to be in touch.
And there's a medical reason. If you feel less anxious, you can sleep better. If you can sleep better, that's when your immune system can repair itself. Right. So it's all good.
All right. Okay, Dr. LaPook, can you stand by and while Patrick sings another song, because we've got another question for you.
So, Patrick, what do you got on your sleeve?
Well, so aside from that, the Starlight Express audition was the only time I've ever missed a flight, and I flew from Pittsburgh and totally bombed the audition. And then another time that the show that, of course, our show in the late 80s, if you came to New York in the 90s, Les Mis was like the one to do.
Yeah, how did you not get Les Mis?
So, well, I auditioned for it once. Remember when they didn't renew the contracts, right?
The 10th anniversary, they fired most of all the original people.
And I was on the road doing Carousel, and I took a red eye, and not that is important, only because I got there and I just chunked it, just totally blew it. Had to sing, I think, like an A flat or something. And no, in hindsight, well, when you're singing Billy Bigelow and just going, you're singing big baritone notes for a year and a half straight, all of a sudden anything above your Saggio, like I wasn't like, a tenor at that point.
Who were you going in for, Enjolras?
Yes, and Buntrock got it. Stephen Buntrock got it. Who was with me and Andrea and took over for me in Oklahoma.
Oh, wow.
That's one more day before the storm. Yes.
Yes. So I follow the Barrett because Anthony Warlow who in the symphonic recording was my hero, my absolute hero. I mean, yeah, we could talk about him I finally met him during Annie, and I just like bowed at his feet. Like, you have no idea how much you influenced me in singing, because I'd never heard anybody sing like that. And in college, we had to go to Colony or to Footlight,
yes.
all those the recordings because there was no internet. So for him, those first Center Stage and those first CDs of his just blew my mind that somebody could just sing with such guts. I just loved it. Always wanted to sing like him. So anyway, so I thought I would bring him home. Why not?
Oh, revival. Here we go.
Here we go. All right. God on high, hear my prayer. In my need, you have always been there. He is young, he's afraid. Let him rest, heaven blessed. Bring him home, bring him home, bring him home. He's like the son I might have known. If God had granted me a son, the summers die one by one. How soon they fly, and I am old and will be gone. Bring him peace, bring him joy. He is young, he is only a boy. You can take, you can give. Let him be, let him live. If I die, let me die. Let him live. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him home.
Yay!
You got to change the lyrics to stay at home.
Yes,
That's true, John.
100%. Stay at home. Patrick Wilson, we want you to keep in touch with your friends for sanity. How about this, pal?
Yeah.
What's up?
Hi, Jason.
At home, baby. Put me in the house.
Where have you been, Daniel?
What? Where have I been?
You were down south, right?
Yeah, I was in Sarasota doing the new Aarons and Flaherty Frank Galati musical, and we pushed it all the way through 3 full weeks of rehearsal. We were doing run-throughs in the studio, and it caught up to us, and drove Lynn Aarons back. 2 full days of driving up I-95, and just got back day before last. So I'm now up in Columbia County, near Albany, in my house, isolated by my sweet little self with sweet little case of wine, watching you bring it on home.
Man.
Man,
Look at that guy.
you're fantastic.
Jason, I'm just curious because I'm shallow. What's the highest note you've had a hit in a show?
See,
Wait,
sorry, I can't mute my.
that was so immediate. Wow. What show was, where'd you have to hit a C?
Candide.
Oh, Candide. With Andrea
Yeah.
Martin. Oh, with Andrea Martin. Would you boys tell me the story, please, Patrick and Jason, about when a certain lighting cue didn't work? I'm obsessed with it.
Go, you go.
I don't remember, were we in, it seemed to be during the run. I don't think it was as early as previews, but during the finale, we would be taking off various parts of our uniforms, and they were down to our G strings. Yeah.
But
And then,
remember, we noticed that the lights had already screwed up. Like we were like 1 cue ahead.
yeah, you could feel it on your back, like when you're walking up stage and there's absolutely nothing but just a little red G string going right past, there. And you can feel like the heat on your back. It's like getting hotter and hotter and brighter and brighter. And it just didn't feel right. And we turned around and the hands went up, and I think we were a full cue or 2 cues ahead. And
Yeah.
from my recollection, we were far enough ahead to go to the curtain call cue,
Oh.
which was the brightest lighting cue in the entire show.
Wait, so you're saying that when you were fully nude, the cue is actually, instead of blinding the audience, the cue was the next cue, which was full lights on your junk.
Just all lights on. Yeah.
And my other thing is that I think Roman was on my right, and I think you were on my left, because Roman was just going, and Patrick was going, bleep. I mean, he was yelling expletive.
Yeah. I locked eyes with about like an 8-year-old girl.
Oh,
Wait, Patrick, you told me that you locked eyes with the 8-year-old girl, and first you were devastated for her, and then you were furious at her parents for bringing her.
So angry at her mother. Yes, looked at the girl, looked at her, like, what are you doing? And then sort of feeling like, I'm sorry, wasn't supposed to happen. Like this whole monologue running through my head.
OMG. Okay, so
like the only time. I mean, there were people that would there were hen parties that would sit in full rows and wear sunglasses. They put sunglasses up as if that was sort of counteract the backlighting for the finale.
okay, wait. Oh, well, you know what? The trick was if you sat in the box seats, the light wouldn't hit you in the face.
In the box seats.
Oh, girl, I was there. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a little memory so that I'm taking you out for 2 seconds. Here's a little.
The next cut was oh shit.
Gwyneth Paltrow, wasn't it?
What's it?
Was it a guy? Was that Gwyneth Paltrow?
Yeah, and her mom.
And her mom, and Blind Dinner. That's right.
They raised the house lights so that you could take they could film the audience. So all of a sudden we were full frontal.
Yeah.
The whole audience was like, "Hey!" and "Oh,
Oh!
You're like, this is so much fun."
Too much.
So much.
Jason, you're going to come back and do a show for me, right?
One of these, yeah, absolutely.
And I want to hear such a beautiful. Yeah. Vibrato. All right, Jason, I'm bidding you adieu. Thank you for your amazing guest appearance. Keep in touch. Stay safe, girl. Peace out. Patty Wilson.
Yes.
Okay, so do we have to do donations or we're going to go to a song?
I think hold on. You know what? I think you should show that other video, or we can go to Dr. LaPook for the question. What do you want?
Well, do you have a question for Dr. LaPook?
Yeah, there is. We actually have one.
Okay, well, Dr.
Bring Dr. LaPook in. All right, Patrick, hold tight. Yeah, peace out.
LaPook.
So, Dr. LaPook, there was another question. This came from Howard Marmerstein, and this is regarding testing.
Oh boy.
If tests become available for everyone, should we be tested constantly? We may not have the virus this week, but we can end up getting it next week.
Right.
Should one be tested over and over during the situation, since one can have the virus but have no symptoms and just be a carrier?
Well, no. So first of all, there's not nearly enough tests right now, even for people who have symptoms. And the way it's happening, at least in New York City, the way it's triaging is, if you have mild symptoms, you have a cough, maybe you even have a low-grade fever, but you're pretty much feeling okay, you'll check with your healthcare provider. If you don't have a healthcare provider, you check with there are hotlines. The New York State Department of Health has one, or you call an emergency room. But you get some advice, some input. They're mostly going to keep you at home, hydrate you, make sure you don't get dehydrated, because there's really no added value to coming in and getting tested. And the testing right now, I tried to send somebody today, and it was going to be days before they could even be tested, and then it could be a day or two before they get the results. So right now, as we're trying to ramp up, the answer is no. You don't constantly test everybody. Eventually, there will be a different type of test. So little technical, but I think it's important. Okay. The test that we're talking about now, the swab up the nose or the back of the throat, you're looking for live virus. You're looking for virus by a test called PCR. And that tells you whether it's active now. That's important in terms of do you have active disease? But what we also want to know is an antibody test where you look for antibodies, IgM and IgG, antibodies showing that you were infected. And in fact, you may be immune right now. Right. We need that too, because for all we know, this has been circulating for a while, and a lot of people had it without realizing it. After all, the symptoms can be anything from none, asymptomatic, no symptoms, and you're shedding, as the question implies, to very sick. So we have to get our arms around, how common it is. And this is a big question right now, because I'm an internist, and I got a lot of questions again today. If somebody normally this time of year, it's cold and flu season. I have the sniffles. I have a little sore throat. Or you may have a low-grade fever. You may have the flu. You may have the common cold. So how do you distinguish that all? And so what we're doing now is we're kind of switching to telemedicine. I actually took a course today for NYU Langone, and now I passed, so I can do telemedicine. And I think that's where we're trying to do. It doesn't mean we won't see you in person. We do that also. But the most people we can see from a distance, triage from a distance, the better. But this is an evolving thing. Who gets tested, when, for how long? We're figuring this out. And the last thing I'll say about this is, we get teased, maybe even worse than teased, doctors over the years, because we say one thing one day and then it's another thing the other day. Yes, take vitamin C, don't take vitamin C. Take vitamin E, don't take vitamin E. Now you're seeing an evolving situation where the data may change day to day. And so you saw this discussion about medications, for example, hydroxychloroquine, which is Plaquenil, which is a malaria.
Right.
It's also used for rheumatoid arthritis, or other medicines that are showing some promise, but that's from France, from China, small studies. They're not really controlled in the right way, and everybody's getting all excited. And it would be great if they work. But people who are scientists are saying, wait a second, we have to get the data, and that may be changing. So you're hearing in these reports real time. We've never had a time like this where people are publishing like a day after they find the findings. Normally it goes through a review process. So we're getting into, it's like, as a physician, and I'm sure for people out there, it's like drinking from a fire hydrant. I mean, in comes all this information. So we're trying to filter it for you. And at the same time, people like Tony Fauci are saying, yes, we're hopeful. Yes, we're doing the trials, but take a deep breath. What we told you yesterday and the week before, it might change. Don't get upset. We're gonna tell you everything we're thinking. Put it in as simple terms, but we're always going to tell you the truth. And know that it might change next week. I know that's disquieting, but I think it's better for people to know we're going to level with you, and we're not going to be more confident than we really are.
Dr. LaPook, Andrea Martin is still on, and she has a question. Andrea, what's your question for Dr. LaPook?
Hi, Dr. LaPook. I'm here in Toronto, Canada, where the SARS epidemic was many, many years ago, when I was here also. So, I flew from LA to Toronto on Saturday, and I'm self-isolating. And I just want to know that I do have little mild, like I have a sore throat and no cough, no fever, but, don't feel, I'm a little under the weather. If indeed I have symptoms and at the end of 14 days, I don't anymore, am I immune then from getting this if I go out and interact with anybody after 14 days? I'm so confused about that.
That's a great question. And I'm glad, you got all gussied up and then they whisked you off. So I'm glad they whisked you off. So that's the $1 million question, because the big question you're really asking is, did I have COVID-19? Did I have this new type of coronavirus? So since you're not going to get tested, we won't know that. But if you did have it, then from everything we know, again, it's all new, but from what we know from past viral infections, once you get an infection, you build up the antibodies, and you should have some immunity for a while. I mean, a year or several years. We don't know how long that would be. With the flu, people can have a partial immunity to past flu, different types of strains. So, but yet we need a flu shot every year because it can keep changing. So this is an evolving situation. It's really a great question, but the answer is we don't know if you're immune because we don't know if you had COVID-19.
So that's all the more reason why I wish there were more tests. That's a really important moment, that if I were tested now and I did have it, but mild symptoms, I could go out with confidence. I could help people. I could interact with people. But because I don't know, it's an ingredient that's missing. I wish that we had more tests.
There's no doubt. And remember, there's two things being worked on. A home test. The Gates Foundation is working on a home test.
Okay.
People are not doing, even if it's not that you do it at home, a nasal swab at home, and then somebody picks it up where you send it somewhere. And then again, this antibody test, I cannot overemphasize how important it's going to be, Andrea, because for people like you, perfect. You get a blood test, really easy. You get a blood test, and did it show past infection? Like when you get a blood test and see when you're about to, if you're going to be pregnant, and of course you get tested for to see if you have measles, mumps, rubella, varicella, chickenpox, and then you want to check for immunity to that. Well, wouldn't it be great if you could check for immunity to COVID-19, to this new type of coronavirus? So that's something we definitely need to do.
Yeah.
In fact, I got an email right before this went on that there's somebody I need to talk about who says they're developing that test. So I expect we should be able to do that. It's not, that hard to do technically. It's just ramping up.
Okay.
It's called an antibody test. I got to remember that.
Antibody. There are different types of antibodies, and IgM is if you've been recently infected. IgG is if you were infected, say, a little longer than just in the last several weeks. And so IgM goes up, and then as it goes up, as it goes down, the IgG goes up. Anyway, we know how to look at it and say, she has current infection or she had past infection.
Okay. Excellent.
It's straightforward, but at least gives us a clue.
Great question, Andrea.
Love your questions. Love your makeup.
Okay.
Bye, hon.
Bye.
Okay, Dr. LaPook, love having you. We're going to see you tomorrow. Am I correct?
Yes.
So I just want to just make sure everybody knows Dr. LaPook comes back every show, basically whenever he can, unless he's called to like a greater calling. Tomorrow afternoon, Audrey McDonald, Will Swenson. Tomorrow night, Christian Chenoweth. But you're going to be back to say goodbye at the end with the doggies.
But also remind people, because you're in it, that this Sunday on CBS Sunday Morning, and it's going to lead the show, so 9 a.m., Rand Morrison, who's the executive producer, has been giving me the privilege of going straight to camera at the beginning of the last several Sunday mornings, which is very unusual, and just giving a spiel about coronavirus, about COVID-19. And this week, we're going to be featuring stars in the house. We're going to be talking about the importance of flattening the curve. And I'm going to mention you guys by name, the Actors Fund, and talk to people about how you can find a link to the pieces. And this is a good time for you guys to remind people that the Actors Fund is not just for actors. And then I will.
It's for actors. Everybody in the business. Well, we're going to bring you back. But box office, hair, script, anyone that works in show business can get help.
Coast to coast.
Coast to coast. Coast to coast. All right, we're going to bring you back to say goodbye with the doggies. Patrick Wilson, I'm going to bring you on right now. Patrick Wilson, we demand some music from you.
Yes. All right. Well, in the spirit of seeing Jason Danieli, I'm going to bring out my son, who's going to accompany me in Man.
Wait, I'm so excited. Make sure you're near the microphone because I got to hear it all. What's your son's name? Cass?
Cass, K-A-S-S.
First of all, use that. Cass finally knows how to use a microphone. Patrick, take his advice. I've never heard anything clearer.
Okay. Really? I was screaming my head off. You couldn't hear me before?
Girl, into the mic. You're not Norman, okay? You don't hit the back wall. We need an actual.
Oh, God. I can totally hit the back wall.
Whatever. Oh. I got to go.
Okay, here we go. You ready? Uh-oh. Cassie.
What?
Okay, hang on. Technical difficulties. What happened? Oh, no. Hang on. What's going on? Did you turn off your...
Andrea, I hope you're watching. Most amazing question ever. Can we get Andrea and Patrick to play Audrey and Seymour on Little Shop of Horrors? So we're going to work on that, Andrea. We're going to work on it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Here we go. You're out of work. Your pride is missing. They call you jerk, but you don't listen. You haven't got a pot to piss in, but you're a man. Your hands are rough. Your back is hairy. Your talk is tough. Your smell is scary. Here's what you're not. You're not a fairy. No, you're a beer drinking real life man. Right. And when the beat comes out, you do the carving. You hate Tom Cruise, but you love Lee Marvin. You're a man, you know what that is. And that's a bonus. Cause when you're swigging your cojones, you'll show them what testosterone is. Cause you're a boot wearing, beer drinking, Chevy driving man. Don't do it to be the most talked about man in Buffalo. Don't do it to be for your friend, your best friend, Jerry, who's doing this for his son. No, David boy, do it for yourself. Show yourself the stuff you're made of. Do you feel me?
You've got these plans You always fail. You've been divorced.
I haven't done.
Been to jail.
That's not true.
You may be bald. You may be male, but you're a bum. Bum, ba-da, bum. You got these dreams. You got your wishes. And I don't want to sound malicious, but you're a nut. And I got dishes. I'm going home. See ya.
You'll be back. You know, you're always there for me.
Not this time, Fabio.
Fabio.
Cheerio. Jerry the stripper.
Surf's up, ladies. This is Jerry Lakowski, the big kahuna. Ride your pipeline. I'm hanging 10. Stand back, ladies. It's quarterback Jerry throwing a long ball right into your end zone. Touchdown. Want to go for 2. Bases loaded. It's bad boy Jerry. Swing a big old bat. Banging 1. Right at you, baby. Booyah! I'm gonna jump straight up, kick the hole in the moon. Don't know exactly where I'm going, but I know I'm gonna get there soon. I'll show you. I'll show them all. I'll show them all the real thing. What is a man? Why does he bother? 'Cause he's a man. 'Cause he's a father. He wants his kid. He wants his life. He wants to He wants to be a man, a real man. Yes, I am. I'm gonna be. I gotta be a real man with a mission like you see on television. I'm a real fine, genuine man.
Oh my God, so good. Wow. Okay, Patrick, Cass was so good. Where's Cass?
There he is.
Cass, look who thought you were good. The actual original.
That guy's a dog.
Okay, Patrick, Cass was so good. Where's Cass? John, that was your role. Look who thought you were good. Okay. Turn the hell off.
Yes.
Cass was so good. Where's Cass? John,
That's really
look who thought you were good.
terribly. John Jellison thought you were amazing. Yeah. That's
Oh my God. Shut up.
John Jellison.
Celia, shut the hell up.
Let's bring back.
Fix your damn internet, John. Celia Keenan Bolger, stop lurking in the background, not helping. Jason, what is with him?
Turn off your Safari. He's watching it on ActorsFun.org, and he's on
Oh.
Turn it off. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back. Oh, he left rudely.
He left because you called
He's
him
not a man. He's a man.
Nice, man. Patrick, there was a C in that song. He wants to be.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I'm obsessed with your fluid riffs. He wants to be so fluid.
Well, I don't know. I'm just thank you is the answer.
Thank you. Take a look.
That's everything I like. Okay.
Yes, Jason, work. Wait, why is your long hair going down? Okay, we're gonna read some donation. Hey, John's back. John's back.
Let's see if he fixed it.
Johnny, any better? Wait, not since my mother was on. John, what's happening? Okay, he's gonna start getting ready for bed. I'm out.
We tried.
Okay, James Wesley.
We have some more donations that just came in. Oh my
James,
gosh.
read them.
Okay. Oh, so many big ones. That's what fun woman just said. Maggie, after this show, you can't give me a text like that starts with so many big ones. Paul from Colorado, $50. Gabrielle from California, $25. John from Pennsylvania, $50. Thomas from
the reason I had it on is I can't see or hear anything.
Wait, you finally
through
said
my connection.
Okay, you're off the screen, but you sounded great for 5 seconds. Bye. Okay, go.
Dwight from Pennsylvania, $75. Beth from Florida, $100. Carol from Pennsylvania, $50 to the Actors Fund. Roberta from New Jersey, $75. And William from California, $50.
Yay!
Okay, so here's the dealio, just on a side note. Patrick, you'll appreciate this. So my friend Jack Plotnick, who directed you in Space Station 76, Carnegie Mellon, he made a donation and he was so excited to watch. And he didn't know that we don't get last names.
Yeah, we don't, it's for confidentiality. I get Actors Fund sends me the first name, the state, and the amount, right? And this is like a sampling of what they're not going to give me their last name.
So Jack was watching so excited that we were going to shout him out. We had no idea. So he sent us this video. Here we go.
What? Jack, $100 from California. Bonnie from Virginia, $100. And Abraham.
I have a last name. And the last name is Plotnick. Jack Plotnick from California, you miserable son of a bitch.
So we explained it to him. We're like, oh, Jack, don't worry about it. We really have no idea. But we sort of did know that our friend Gretchen was going to make a donation. So then Jack happened to be watching and filming, and then we got this the next day.
103. Gretchen, 515 from New York. I think I know you are, Gretchen. Thank you. Our good friend Gretchen. Julia, 25 from Wisconsin. Linda, 51 from Massachusetts. Judy, $25 from New Jersey.
So just note to self. Okay, end of story. I'm gonna just for fun. Let's just see what's happening here.
Oh my God.
Hi, John. Do you see us, John? Can you hear us? Can't hear a thing. Listen, call my mother for tech advice. She's 88. I think she's a little more skilled. Okay, I gotta go. I can't.
Oh my God.
I can't. Okay, Jason, by the way, I just want to promote your album, you and Marin. That album just came out, right? How can people get that amazing album?
Yeah, it's called Broadway and Beyond, and it was the last live performance that Marin and I performed in New York City in June of 2017. And proceeds will be divided equally between Cancer Support Community, a wonderful organization that helps people around the world with cancer, and then Tina's Wish organization, which focuses on ovarian cancer research, and also the Actors Fund. Yeah, the Actors.
Yeah. So bravo, Jason. Patrick Wilson, you always have
BroadwayRecords.com.
Broadway Records, who we love.
Bandine. Yes.
Patrick Wilson, you always have another damn movie coming out without singing. What TV show? What's happening? Anything I need to know about? Be mad.
We're on hold now. It's affecting the left coast as well. We're supposed to do additional footage, they call it, additional reshoots on for Conjuring 3, which is out in the fall. So
we love Conjuring.
Yes. So hopefully that holds. You know. Wait, what's he saying? Couldn't see or hear, but on YouTube. Okay, that was from Connolly. Hopefully that holds. Now, there he is.
How's it going? You cast sounded amazing, man.
Oh, I miss
you. I'm bringing.
Yeah, well, I'm not getting a good enough signal to be able to join in. Plus, pipes a little rusty.
Really, you actually couldn't be clearer and sound better.
And I'm one of the many people lamenting not going to getting a haircut before it was insane to get closer to other people.
No, well, our daughter just cut James's hair. Hold on.
Here, get in, Julie.
Yeah.
Can't hear anything.
Yeah, okay. It just always ends with can't hear anything. Okay, bye, John. I can't.
So that's the show. Thank you so much, Patrick. It's
my pleasure. I'm thrilled to hopefully, one of the casualties too, selfishly was I was going to do another workshop of this show that I can't quite mention yet, but
a musical.
Yes. That I've done about 4 years. We've done different workshops of, and so we've just had to cancel that spring workshop, but hopefully the date still holds in the fall, and I will be returning to musical theater for the first time in a long time.
Please, God.
No, I'm trying.
It's been a long time of trying, since around 2000. Anyway, okay. Wow. Patrick, we love you. Guys, if you're loving this show, please donate at theactorsfund.org.
Oh, the dogs are.
I've lost you. Oh, wait.
There
I
we-
lost you.
Oh, yeah, there
Can
we
you
are.
hear me?
Yes, we're back. So listen, Bagel had a limp, but he's totally better now. Wait, where are the
We
dogs?
don't know where he went. Well,
Oh, we always
we
release
have
the
us
dogs.
dog.
Hold on, we got it. What about Dr. Patrick? You look crazy. Not from that angle. Yeah. Okay, Dr. LaPook, your doggy's out.
And how about an upbeat message for the end?
What's the upbeat message?
The upbeat message is I know it's scary right now, and I know there's uncertainty, but this will have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Remember, 80% of the people have relatively mild cases. It's going to be bumpy. I'm saying this over and over again, but I have never in my life seen so many brilliant minds coming together to address one problem. We will solve this. And this uncertainty reminds me of when HIV came out. I was an intern in the spring of 1981 when we saw the first patient. And it was that same, oh my gosh, that feeling in the pit of your stomach. What is this? Completely unknown. And then as we started to get information, we started to get our arms around it. And we're going to get our arms around this too. We will get through it. We're going to do it together. And we all have to think of the community. It's the community right now. So don't go to the beach with 50 of your friends.
Please don't. Donate at actorsfund.org. And let me say goodbye. And your final laugh of the night is this. There you go. Jason, put it on. All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Whoa,
Oh, my God.
whoa.
And in broadcast.
Bye, guys. Thank